everyone. So I know I have not made a video in a very long time, and this whole video is probably going to explain why, because I have not been feeling my best up until recently. But anyways, as you can tell from the title of this video, this is just an update of like how my pregnancy is going, and I wanted to do one sooner, except I just haven't been feeling good, looking good, haven't been taking care of myself up until like a week ago. So let's just dive into it then. I am 13 weeks and 2 days pregnant. So let me get my notes up here because I wanted to make sure, because like it's just 13 weeks of stuff and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so first thing was first, when I went to my first doctor's appointment, which was like around December 16th, was it? No, I don't think it was. Maybe like, I'm like really trying to think. I think it was around December 21st because Bellamy went with his grandma for a few days just because Miguel and I recently had gotten married, and she was like, you guys need some alone time, and it was really nice of her. It was around December 21st that I had my first appointment because Miguel was able to go with, because he took time off of work those few days that his mom was watching Bellamy. So we went in, and like I told you guys before, I wanted to do midwife care this time around, and so it was a midwife. And as we get to the appointment, they're gonna do it. I can't talk. They gave us a dating scan first before I even saw the midwife, so they took us back to the ultrasound, and at that point I was estimated to be 8 weeks pregnant, but I was only like 6 weeks and 2 days pregnant. And I feel like honestly that's making this pregnancy feel even longer, because if I was 8 weeks pregnant then, I would have been like a lot farther along than I am now. So let me think here. I would be like 15 weeks if I was actually 8 weeks. So that being said, that means I found out I was pregnant very soon, meaning I literally probably just conceived a week before I got a positive pregnancy test, and that's like just crazy to me that I got a positive pregnancy test that soon. After they did that ultrasound, I saw the midwife. She just wanted me to ask questions so she could answer, and my questions were pretty much just like, because I'll be giving birth at a different hospital than I did with Bellamy, and I was just like asking of how like that would be different, you know. And pretty much the difference is that this hospital is a lot smaller, so therefore like there will be less women in there giving birth when I'm giving birth, and that means I'll have more people focused on only me and my care, and I'm excited about that. So I don't know, I just like the fact that they're not going to be too busy doing other things, or if I want the epidural, hopefully it doesn't take an hour to get the epidural or things like that. So I also got blood drawn, and you know, that was just checking to see if everything was okay with me. And that was pretty much just the gist of the first appointment, because there's not much you can really do other than talk about the baby at the first appointment, you know? And plus, I also had my first appointment really early because they thought I was 8 weeks, but I was really only 6 weeks and 2 days. And that being said, the due date was July 31st, and the due date is now August 11th. I went to my other appointment like 2 weeks ago, and this one was also just asking questions or if I had any concerns. I also had a high blood pressure when I went in, and I was chasing Bellamy around before because he just wanted to run around like the building. And you know, if you have a 1-year-old, it's kind of hard because you either let them do the thing or you let them scream and have everyone look at you. Either way, I feel like I get nasty looks, whether I let him scream or let him run around, even though he's causing nobody any harm when he's running around. They took my blood pressure like right after I was running around with him, and it came out a little higher than what my blood pressure usually is. I usually have a very normal, good, I've heard good, because I don't know nothing about blood pressure, but I've always been told my blood pressure is really good. And they took it and they were like, huh, this is like unusually high for you. And they were like a little bit concerned, and they brought up that if I get another high blood pressure, that I would probably have to be moved to the OB/GYN in that building instead of seeing a midwife. But I feel like there was just a bunch of factors that made that blood pressure high, because they took my blood pressure again like 30 minutes later and it was back to its normal self. So we'll see how that goes. I hope I can stay with the midwife because I don't feel like one bad blood pressure should like throw that off quite yet, but they said it could, which I feel like is dumb, but I understand it's also them just trying to make sure I have a safe pregnancy, and they just, yeah, just wanting me to have a safe pregnancy pretty much. So I also did listen to this baby's heartbeat at that appointment, and I was getting a little nervous. I think at that time I was like 10 weeks? No, yeah, maybe. I was either 9 or 10 weeks at that time. No, I was 10 weeks, yeah. And I remember, because I remember her saying at 10 weeks you can't quite, like, sometimes you don't hear the baby's heartbeat. So she was like looking for what felt like 10 minutes, but it could have been like 5, but it just felt like forever because Bellamy was screaming because he's like, why can't I see my mom? Because he, like, and I love this doctor's office too because they have toys in like the rooms. So he was playing with his toys, and I'm just laying on the bed, and he can't see me suddenly, and he's like freaking out because he just sees like a person over me with a Doppler, and he's like, what is this? But eventually I did hear the heartbeat, and it was like such a relief, but I like couldn't show how much of a relief it was, like, because usually I'd be like more excited to hear the heartbeat, and I was, because I was worried that there was no heartbeat. And so I'm happy there was, and it was just crazy because Bellamy started screaming as soon as she found the heartbeat, and she was like, can you hear that? And I'm like, barely, because my son's screaming, but I did hear it. I sadly did not record that. I just don't feel like I'm comfortable enough yet to record like doctor visits. I don't know, I might next time though, which I have one again in a week I think, and I might then, because I really want Miguel to hear the heartbeat because he hasn't yet. And then also at my last appointment, I decided to do the NIPT testing, which is genetic testing to see if anything is wrong with the baby, whether it has Down syndrome, and I might say this really wrong, trisomy 13 I think, and 18. I could be wrong about the numbers for those, but it just looks for anything that could be genetically wrong pretty much. And then so that being said, it can also find out the baby's gender. And that being said, I do know the baby's gender, and I will be posting up my gender reveal video soon, and Miguel finding out the gender video soon. I sadly do not have a video of me reacting to the gender because they call you with the results, and I was actually at my college when they called getting textbooks, so I didn't have a camera on me to record my reaction. And honestly, even if I was home, I wouldn't think to like run to the camera and record it, you know? Since I found out the gender, I also know that my baby has nothing genetically wrong with it from what they could tell from that test. But I did find out that I'm a carrier of cystic fibrosis. And what that means is my baby could have it if Miguel is a carrier too. The doctor said she doesn't think Miguel is because we had Bellamy, and Bellamy is completely fine. And Miguel doesn't want to get tested for it, so I kind of want him to, because I want to know if he's a carrier too, because the only way our baby can get it is if we're both carriers. But I can't make him test for it, and that's his own decision, so I just gotta hope for the best pretty much. And then Miguel's mom made a really good point because I talked to her about it, because even if he is a carrier of it too, there's a 1 in 4 chance, only a 1 in 4 chance that our baby would get it. So there's a 3 out of 4 chance that they'd just be fine. And I feel like I just also don't want to worry about it my entire pregnancy, unless, because I'm going to talk to my doctor about it come February 12th, because that's when I'm going. I will be talking to her about it to see if there's any benefit of knowing if our baby has cystic fibrosis sooner, such as whilst in the womb, like if it has any benefit to the baby, if they could do anything to help the baby while in utero. But if they can't, then I don't care knowing until the baby is born, so I don't want to be worried about it my entire pregnancy. So that's a little bit worrisome, but I try to put it in like the back of my head, because like I also just don't know if Miguel's a carrier, and if he's not, then there's no chance of our baby getting it. So, and Miguel has his reasons for not wanting to be tested, and I can't really like force him to get tested. And I'm not even 100% sure if I want to know if he's a carrier or not, because if he is a carrier, I'm just gonna worry more. And then if he's not, it's great, but who's to say he's not? You know what I mean? It's just, I go back and forth on it, and I'm sure Miguel and I will make a final decision on it soon. Last but not least, the symptoms I have been feeling. I'm pretty sure I found out I was pregnant November 25th. And I seriously feel like ever since I found out I was pregnant, my lips have been so chapped. And I looked it up and it said it means I could be dehydrated, but I literally drink so much water. I sincerely doubt that. And I've been religiously putting chapstick on, and just look how bad they are. Like, my bottom lip isn't as bad as my top lip, and it honestly looked worse than this like a few days ago. And don't mind my zit. But I don't know, they're just so bad. I'm just tired of having chapped lips. And it was like so disappointing because I got married November 30th and I got married with very dry lips. I don't know, I feel like when you get married you want soft kissable lips, and that is not what I had. And I hate it too because like on my wedding pictures, like some of them, they're just such good quality. You can see like the little flakes on my lips and I hate it. Okay, and then I think what came next after the chapped lips was, and I think it started around 6 weeks, and that's so like, yeah, because when I had my appointment I was complaining. My first appointment I was actually 6 weeks pregnant because they thought I was 8 but I was only 6. I was complaining of like how nauseous I was already, and it's, I don't know. I'm sorry, I saw my neighbors walking by in the window and it made me feel awkward. But I was complaining of how nauseous I was. So my nausea started around 6 weeks, and like on top of the nausea I was always bloated. And oh my gosh, I am so glad it's getting better now. But this is what I mean by I couldn't make any videos, and plus I was like sick on top of it, and then I got sick again. So 6 weeks I started to get really bloated no matter how little I ate. Like, I felt so bloated, and the best way I can explain it, no matter how little I ate, like, you know how it feels when you like swallow a pill and it feels like that pill stuck in your throat? Like, it would literally feel like that, but with my food. Like, or about another way I've explained it to people is like, it's like my stomach is like really small at the moment, and I eat and I feel like the food is still like sitting in my esophagus or something. And that's probably a weird way to explain it, but that's how it felt. So it just kind of felt like that, and literally I had all the food aversions, didn't want to eat anything. But then if I didn't eat, I'd puke because I was so hungry, and then if I did eat, I'd puke because I was nauseous. So there was like no winning. And I felt like it actually got worse before it got better, because around 9 weeks it was getting a lot worse, I feel like, and I was like puking 3 times a day. And then 10 weeks, still the same. 11 weeks, started to, I feel like it was the same too. 12 weeks started to ease out of it, and now I'm on week 13 and I'm starting to feel a lot better, in which they do say that once you hit the 2nd trimester, the nausea typically goes away. I still get nauseous sometimes, but at the moment it's mainly when I don't eat, because I'm still having food aversion, so I literally just don't want to eat. Yesterday, what did I eat? I had a small handful of goldfish, mac and cheese, and that mac and cheese I ate around lunchtime, and it literally kept me full all day. And then I started to starve around 7 o'clock, and I literally ate some grapes, so I barely ate yesterday. And I don't know, just food aversions at the moment. Then after the bloating and the nausea and the food aversions, I think around 7 weeks, I don't know, it was probably around the same time, maybe 7-8 weeks, I started to become really fatigued, and that's another reason why I didn't film. So on top of the nausea, the bloat, the chapped lips, and then feeling fatigued, I just did not feel good, because on top of all that I was also sick with a stuffy nose and just a cold, and it was honestly terrible. I honestly was not taking care of myself at that point. Like, I looked like how I felt, and which was crap. Like, my hair was never brushed, it was a giant rat's nest, I just didn't feel good, my face was like red all the time, I just dressed lazily, and I didn't leave the house. I just felt like complete poop, and that's hence why I didn't film, because there was like, I was excited about being pregnant and I really wanted to film videos and put it out there, but I didn't because of those reasons. And it was just very hard to take care of Bellamy on top of feeling all that kind of way. So glad I'm feeling better now. And then the fatigue, I don't know, it's just, it was hard because I was so tired. I feel like I couldn't even get up the couch. Like, it wasn't that bad, but like that's why I never left the house. And when I did leave the house, it'd not be for that long because I'd go to the store and Miguel would be like, oh, go to Target, because I love Target. But I didn't even enjoy going to Target at this point because I just did not feel good. And then around 10 weeks, and I thought this was weird because with Bellamy, it like happened right away. As soon as I found out I was pregnant with him, my nipples became really sensitive and sore, and like you'd barely graze them and it'd feel like I was like shot or something. That's like a little over exaggerating, but this time around it didn't even happen until like 10 weeks. So, well, you know what, I'm trying to think of how far along I was when I found out with Bellamy. I think it was 5 weeks when I found out with him, and then with this baby I found out at 3 weeks. Isn't that crazy? But this time around I was just like, huh, it's weird, my boobs don't hurt this time around. But no, 10 weeks happened and it's just, ow, okay, don't touch me there, ow, okay. And they're still kind of sensitive. I don't think I had any other symptoms than those typical ones. Well, I guess I pee a lot now too, but I kind of peed a lot before because I always have drinking a lot of water. But it's probably definitely more now. Like, I used to not wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, but now I do wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah, I guess that's just it at the moment. And now I'm in the second trimester. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.